I'm really excited to talk to you all about Lucian today, which was one of our newest champion. He's called Lucian the Purifier, and he's a new AD carry. And we were inspired by movies like Equilibrium and The Matrix. We like that archetype of martial arts using weapons. And we wanted to create our own version of the weapons you'd see in those types of movies.
The personality of Lucian is a little bit reminiscent of Blade from those films as well, in that he has a sense of humor, but it's grim. He's not going around smiling, making funny jokes about everything, but he has this gallows humor, this very black humor.
You don't have the heart for this.
Lucian's been in development for a long time here on League of Legends. We started development around summer of 2012, and even before then, ideas about this type of archetype had floated around our offices for a long time. But around summer 2012, we finalized the concept art for what eventually would be the character. And a lot of people on our design team got inspired by this art and started prototyping gameplay kits around movement while doing damage.
When I started working on Lucian, the concept was the strongest aspect already. So we always knew he was going to be this specific type of personality. There was never any doubt there. Mechanically, however, it took us a while to find ways to express that personality.
A month before we're actually supposed to kind of lock him down and prepare him for the final stages of release, the team got together and we had to make a gut call. He wasn't as fun as we wanted him to be. There's just something about that movement and positioning gameplay wasn't clicking the way we wanted it to. It wasn't feeling satisfied. So I made a strategic decision to pull him from the lineup until we can figure out exactly how we can make that mechanic and role fulfill the fantasy of what we're trying to go for. We wanted to create an AD carry that was very swift and about movement and position, as well as blasting someone with major damage.
There were a couple of things that we decided to not use in the end. There was one ultimate that I remember it felt really fun to use, but it was just not Lucian's personality at all. So it was a sort of a homing missile that would slowly bank and turn toward an enemy and then hit that enemy. It felt really cool, but it also felt like a mage spell. It didn't feel like something you wanted to do as an AD carry, just stop in the middle of combat and carefully consider who you want to target. So now what Lucian does in combat is he doesn't stop, he actually goes faster. He turns on his ultimate, the culling, starts unloading, and that's pretty much the opposite of what that ultimate used to be.
That's not typically what all AD carries are. Sometimes there's trade-offs where you have AD carries who unleash their damage while they're staying in place. Sometimes they have global ultimates that go across the screen. Lucian is all about kind of sticking on a target or being able to kind of engage and disengage very quickly.
There's two things that define Lucian's playstyle. First of all, if you want to bring an AD carry that has very, very high single target damage. Lucian does have a couple of AoE abilities, but they're not that strong in terms of damage. They're good for poking, but his passive, Light Slinger, means he does very, very good single target damage. And of course his ultimate, people are going to see that ultimate and the first thing they're going to think it's Misfortune. But it's the exact inverse of Misfortune. When Misfortune, you just sit somewhere in a fight, you immobilize yourself, and you spread your damage out to a giant cone, catching the entire enemy team. He only trails down one guy. Like his bullets stop on the first enemy they hit and do damage to that guy. So if you have a dueling situation and Lucian unloads his ultimate, that's massive, massive single target damage. The other reason you want to bring him is mobility and something we like to refer to as slipperiness. So he is the AD carry that you just cannot pin down. For instance, Relentless Pursuit, his dash move has a slow perch on it. And the first time you play him, you're like, that's kind of nice, I guess. But once you play them 2, 3, 4 times, you start to hold that ability for that moment when Narsus withers you or when Lulu attacks you with a glitter lance, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, you know what? You're not slowing me. I am still getting out of here. And then I have my Ardent Blaze on you and I get extra movement speed and I'm double getting out of here.
To me, it feels like you're playing an arcade shooter, right? You're just literally running towards someone and blasting. That's a really fun fantasy. We haven't had anything like this yet. And we've created a nimble, quick character who can dive into battle with style and class and destroy his enemies.